In case you haven't guessed so far, I'm a huge fan of the Seven Deadly Sins anime, and when the new season dropped on Netflix, I watched it in 2 days. So I ran out of content and I was pretty bored, so I decided to download the game and give it a fair shot. Now, I won't spoil anything for you if you haven't watched the series, but it was really good, and I advise that you check it out ASAP. But enough about the anime. We're here to talk about the gacha. I spent 7 days playing and wanted to give you my first impressions. Don't worry, this is still a Langrisser channel, but I wanted to add some occasional variety with other games. If there's a gacha you want me to review, drop it in the comments below and I will give it a shot. Good, bad, or ugly, I promise to give it a fair shake. My first impression of 7DS was, oh my god, this UI is so clunky. It is honestly one of the most visually aggressive experiences I have had in a game. There's information packed into every corner of the screen, and even with my 10S Max, I can barely play on my phone. I do like that you can toggle the UI, but the problem is you can't interact with things with the UI toggled off. This for me is the biggest complaint about the game so far. Now, before I start talking about what I actually enjoyed, I do have a few other minor complaints. Namely the lack of inventory space and just the high number of fetch quests. I wanted to hop right into the story and play through my favorite moments of the show, but instead I'm trying to raise my popularity in town in order to make sure I stay ahead of the leveling curve. I have 5 stars in Vanya, in Dalmali, and 4 in Post Town. And as far as the story goes, I still haven't really cleared the Visel Fighting Festival. I'm about halfway through. But honestly, that cuts 2 ways. On the one hand, it's annoying to spend so much time not really completing the main quest, but on the other hand, I've been able to sink so many hours per day into the game without any problem. At one point, I was able to play for 6 hours straight. That's super helpful while I'm killing time waiting for my stamina to refresh in Langrisser. This segues nicely into my first compliment of the game, and that's the stamina refresh speed. It's awesome. So every 2 minutes you refresh 1 stamina, and most of the early game content only requires 4 to 6 stamina. The timer even starts while you're in battle, so you can recover almost half of your spent stamina while completing the mission. Combine that with easy to hit achievements and leveling up that refresh your stamina, and it feels like the content is virtually endless. Next, I want to talk about the combat, and I'm honestly a little bit torn on it. On the one hand, I really love the live action feature and the powerful ultimates and joint attacks that you can unleash, but the combat system's really RNG based. You can only play around the cards you get dealt, and if they don't come in the right order, it can be a pain to set up what you want to do. This is probably because I come from a strategy background, where I focus primarily on calculated moves and have total control of what I'm doing. So I guess having some of that control revoked is a little painful. Now don't get me wrong, I do like the combat overall, but I do find it necessary sometimes to swap teams because the same animations over and over and over while you're doing fetch quest after fetch quest after fetch quest can be a little tedious. Now, I do want to mention that there also is a PvP mode, but because I'm still in the early game process and my account's a really low level compared to people who have been playing since day 1, I'm not really able to give you an accurate review of that content. I do want you to know that there is PvP in the game, but I'm not able to do it yet. Lastly, I want to touch on something I think most gacha gamers want to know. How does real money translate to in-game currency? This is one of the biggest weaknesses of 7DS in my opinion. It takes 30 diamonds to do one 11 hero summon, and as you can see in the shop, there really isn't an effective way to get there. You can spend $24 and get 60 diamonds, but that's only 2 11x summons. I know gacha games are all about that money, but they also need to be tempting offers if they want people to really spend. I'm not tempted at all to spend money on this game, which makes it a great second game for me, since I already spend way too much on Langrisser. Alright, so what is the final verdict? I'm going to break it down into 3 categories. Is it a good game? Do I personally enjoy it? And should you play it? First, I'm going to say this game is fun. For me. But I think that comes from my connection with the characters and the anime. I'm willing to put up with the grind because I know what the payoff is. As a second game, this is a great choice because it always feels like there's something to do, and I haven't run into any roadblocks that a little bit of grinding can't take care of. So is it a good game? Yes. Is it necessarily the best game? I don't think so. That being said, the second category is, did I personally enjoy it? Yeah, absolutely. The only thing I didn't like was that I pulled 3 copies of SSR Arthur really early in the game, and that was kind of a pain. I love the characters, I love the progression system, I love the outfits, and the animations are gorgeous. I'm definitely going to keep playing this game, but I do think there is room for improvement. And third, should you play 7DS? If you like the anime and you can endure grinding, then yes. If you don't know the story, I would recommend watching the show over playing the game. It takes way too long for the story to unfold in-game, and for people that have seen the anime and do have a connection, that's fine. But if you're trying to learn the story through the game, good luck. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want to see more gacha reviews, make sure to thumbs up and comment below which game you want me to review next, and I will see you next time.